Now, this is a rather effective, popular, and significant instrument that is used for its fundamental purpose, which is communication. And we talk about the cell phone. But do you know your rights as a cell phone owner? Well, the Consumer Affairs Commission will stage a week of activities planned around this year's observance of World Consumer Rights Day on Saturday, March 15, under the theme, Your Right, Your Phone, Your Rights. And to tell us more, we have got Dorothy Campbell, Communications Specialist at the Consumer Affairs Commission, and Michael Diamond, Attorney at Law, National Consumers League. Gentlemen, lady, good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're right. Many people really don't know exactly their rights. But first of all, tell us essentially what exactly it is that we're talking about.
Okay, Jamaica decided to use this theme because based on the feedback from Consumers International, which is the umbrella organization of 150 countries, more than 200 organizations worldwide, they found that this particular device, the mobile phone, has become an income earner, communications, it's used to diagnose illnesses. It's one of the most vital piece of instrument that a citizen can own today. So based on that, the proliferation of phones, they've decided that this is the issue that should be addressed worldwide. Jamaica has decided to educate consumers about the fact that they ought to have rights once they get into a contract with a provider of service. So part of the reason we have chosen Your Phone, Your Rights is to educate consumers that they should educate, they should know their rights.
And we will be looking at these specific cases. Now, there are 4 cases that you have isolated. We talk about billing, we talk about spam, we talk about drop calls, and to an extent, the terms, the fairness of the contract.
Well, as far as consumers are concerned, is that it is very easy to violate your privacy, especially with a cell phone, because this is something that is very intimate to you and you have it on you at all times. So protecting the consumer's privacy, as far as from information overload is concerned and unnecessary marketing to you, which you should have a choice whether or not you would like to receive these messages. Oftentimes you're using your cell phone and here comes a message from the cell phone company, which basically is not important, it's not essential, but they're pitching another particular product that you can't afford.
All right, break it down for me a bit, because this is something that we're all exposed to. Are you saying to me now that if I'm using my cell phone, irrespective of which one of the providers, and I get a message on it introducing me to some new specials that they might have, are you saying that I have a right to reject this?
You do have a right. You have a right to reject it, preempt, to say, well, listen, I would like to be undisturbed, basically excluded from spam. Okay, this is exactly what it is. Information overload, what it actually does, it provides too much information that basically clouds your judgment, so you're not able to make an informed decision. And what ends up happening is that individuals are getting into plans that they basically can't afford outside of their budget, because this is actually a strategic marketing to get individuals that are underinformed.
How do I go about seeking some kind of redress? What do I do? Because it is a part of the provider's operations. What do I do?
Well, one thing that is happening now, Rohan, is that we have recognized that somehow consumer protection is behind the 8 ball where this is concerned. The technology is out ahead of us. So part of the reason Consumers International is mobilizing the entire globe is to have some kind of advocacy to improve the existing legislation to ensure that some of these breaches that are occurring that are not yet illegal, that we develop them, amend our legislation, and help to improve the rights of the consumer. Right now, what we're doing, especially today, is to have an outside broadcast at the Transport Center in Halfway Tree, and we've invited the regulatory bodies and NGOs like NCL, like Mr. Diamond here, and the 3 providers of service to assist us in educating the consumers about some of the occurrences that might take place once you're using this device and how they approach resolving these problems. Because the Consumer Affairs Commission doesn't have all the information, because consumers don't complain about their phones except when it stops working. So we have to educate them first and then let them understand what their rights are, and then we can deal with redress.
Yes. What about some of the messages that you might get? Sometimes, you know, there's a message that comes in, a false message that comes in also introducing. Does the same apply?
Yes, the same definitely applies. And what happened is, if you get an urgent message from a family member, you shouldn't have to veer through a promotional or marketing message before hearing your actual message from, so
that every day.
yes, this
so
is.
What do you do then?
These are the complaints that we do receive at the National Consumers League, and what we have to do is customers have to speak out, and they have to let the communications companies know that, hey, listen, you have to give me an option to not receive this. So this is what we're promoting basically right now. Once we're able to say, hey, look, we shouldn't have to regulate this particular service, but at the same time, treat your customers fairly.
March 15 is World Consumer Rights Day. Talk about it.
But we have started activities on March 9. We had our church service at Hope United Church. We are having our OB today at the Transport Center on level 3. So we're asking consumers to come out, come and ask questions, find out what and come and get some giveaways as well, because I understand that there'll be giveaways and a great time to be had. So we're asking consumers to come out at the Transport Center in Halfway Tree. We'll be there to answer all your questions. Exhibitions will be in the libraries, parish libraries across. The message will be read to students at their assembly throughout the week. And we also will have a broadcast with the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, which is our Governor Minister, on air for the entire nation to get that message.
Dorothy Campbell, thanks so much. You have shed some massive light this morning on this whole question of telephone and knowing your right. Thanks so very much for joining us this morning. Michael Diamond, Attorney at Law, National Consumers League, and Dorothy Campbell, Communications Specialist, Consumers Affairs Commission. Thanks much. All right, and we're going to be leaving the outside and throwing it back inside, because up next after this break, it is going to be fresh meat, and our fresh artist for this morning is Asafa. No, it's Aspa. Aspa is our fresh on the block this morning when we return.